Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So we are back, and we got to talk about another state that will possibly and very likely be doing redistricting, and that is the state of California. Now, California is an attempt of retaliation. We do know that Gavin Newsom, who is opposed to the new Texas map, is going to make a huge political mistake by very well redistricting, rigging the maps in California. Now, hang on. Before people go and call me out for hypocrisy, I want to tell you this is so different because a lot of people don't understand the difference between the Texas and California maps, and it's actually obviously quite easy to explain, honestly. You see, it's just the way that it's run. Texas, it gives the people the power to elect the state legislatures, and therefore they have the power to redistrict the map without angering the people. That's why we laugh so much at the Democrats, because, hey, you know what? You're just mad that we have more state senators and state legislators than you. It's Texas, solid red state. And if this were California or the other way around, you would be supporting it. And that's supposedly what they're doing here. But here's the problem. California is not like Texas, where this is a partisan sort of legislator. California has an independent commission. And that was established by the voters, right? That was established by the voters. And that independent commission basically is nonpartisan. So supposedly what Gavin Newsom wants to do is rig that independent nonpartisan commission in favor of Democrats to flip 3 strong Republican seats and ultimately solidify the more strong Democrat seats to come. So honestly, we do know what he's trying to do. He's going to do it via ballot measure. So a lot of people are like, oh, how is he going to get away with this? Well, Gavin Newsom is putting a ballot measure on the ballot come this November, and knowing how California goes, they're probably going to approve it. But I'm just saying, if California doesn't approve it for whatever reason, maybe they'll turn out, or just Republicans are enraged due to this, and they just come out and try to stop Gavin Newsom's effort. Because we got to recognize that before I get into that, though, but yes, that measure could possibly fail. And you know what? Maybe Gavin Newsom should be worried about the Republican backlash, because we do know from prior results, Republicans are revolting against California and Gavin Newsom. California, low propensity state, especially in the said gubernatorial races. Now, it's kind of different. California, you can't necessarily say it's a low propensity state for Democrats, but Democrats are just being so bad. They're just being terrible leadership that Republicans are coming out across the board just to spite Newsom. And despite this stupid administration in California, that is literally, and now you want to talk about stripping rights away? You can't have a fire pit in California. It's bad for the environment, they say. But I'm just looking at these counties. As far as I know, there was never an 80%, like I think this is Loren County or something like that, 80%. So yeah, people are turning out against the Newsom administration, against the California Democrat regime across the board. You'll see it was a huge, massive underperformance compared to 2018. Yeah, you got the 2022 Senate race, but I would say that this is more of a federal race, and that really the federal race kind of aligns with the state nationally. But we're talking about states, okay? Because Alex Padilla doesn't run state government. He helps run the national government in the United States Senate. So really, they're not going to care much about him. They care about the state leadership. So yeah, you got, of course, lieutenant governor. You had Miss Alina Kounalakis underperforming, which is interesting because she's running for governor this year. Not supposedly next year, obviously. The Attorney General, you got Rob Bonta, 59% compared to 2018. Yeah, look, he lost those Hispanic areas, allegedly being Hispanic himself. That's not a good sign. You got also Secretary of State Shirley Weber. Yeah, obviously this is Alex Padela's seat. But yeah, all the Hispanic areas, even including Orange County, voted Republican across the board in all these elections. They did vote for Kamala Harris, speaking to Orange County, mainly because, presidential election, the brat queens are out and voting, but the brat queens didn't have a reason to go out and vote for a blue state that they're going to win regardless. Deanna Ma. Now, you'll be like, oh, geez, just cope. It's at 59%, but 55% this is probably the worst record for California Democrats. My goodness, 55%. Lan Hee Chen got 44% in the state controller election. Yeah, this is not good. In California standards, if I may add, California standards, this is not good. Because, and I would expect it to be more competitive, maybe 56% this time for Kounalakis and for the Democrats. But yeah, this is absolutely not good. I want to also check Adam Schiff and how he performed. Also, Kamala Harris. Yeah, Kamala Harris, 58%. More worse than Gavin Newsom. Way worse than Gavin Newsom. And not to mention, you also have that Senate election, 58%. So I guess it's not much. But you also had Imperial County leaving. So I'm telling you, I'm showing this mainly to prove that, yeah, people are revolting. People are revolting in California. And there is a chance that, with low turnout for Democrats, high turnout for Republicans, this could be thwarted. We've seen in the past, like, for instance, there was a ballot measure, like ballot measure 1. That ballot measure 1 ended up, oh no, this isn't one. This was about, of course, the minimum wage. Of course, minimum wage, which you would think in California, raising the minimum wage would be very popular, right? But minimum wage ended up failing. Here we go. 32. Yes. Yeah, minimum wage failed. Why? Well, with the brat queens coming out and voting, you'd think the brat queens would also circle the yes option. Well, I'm guessing something went wrong. Obviously, California government's way too big, and I think people in this election were using common sense. I don't think we can afford as a state to give any more spending. So there is a chance. Put the context that, yes, Democrats were out in this said election. They were voting in this election. There is a possibility that, this ballot measure could fail like Proposition 32 failed. And, I hope it does, because I'm telling you, Republicans are playing for keeps, and that is fine. So let's just say, what if this map is successful, ballot measure is successful? I wouldn't be panicking, because, to be honest with you, that's what Democrats want. Democrats want us to panic. They want us to cope. Oh, we should have did the Texas thing, yada yada. But the truth is that, it doesn't matter. Democrats are taking 3 seats. 3 seats. In fact, Republicans have proposed a new map that would include 8 seats. So I don't know if they're actually going to get away with 8 seats in Texas, but we have confirmed a 5-seat net flip, and that it on itself is still brutal. Republicans are still going to be guaranteed the net worth. And Democrats, we know they need a gain net worth of 2 in order to win the House. If they don't get a gain net worth of 2, and they don't, despite what they're going to go through Ohio and and the pain and the carnage they're going to go through with Florida and possibly Missouri now, they're going to lose. They will lose the House. It doesn't matter. You can try to counter that with California, but you're not changing much. You're not changing much with California, and Democrats have already gerrymandered their state to the max, gerrymandered all their blue states to the max. There's nothing really you can take. And that's why we Republicans, we just laugh and say, like, oh, gerrymander what seat? Obviously, it's important to know that they do have seats. They did give us a list of seats that they want. And, so, okay, thanks, I guess. But, okay, this is an ad. But I'll just use Red Eagle for a source. But yes, political polls. This is supposedly what they're aiming for. We're talking about California 3, safe Republican to safe Democrat. All right, California 3. Where's California 3? This one right here. Yeah, and this was a seat that I want to call it safe Republican. If I am concerned, if we look to the 2024 United States presidential election in California, I want to believe that it voted for Trump in a leaning or tilting margin. So Democrats could win that district. They just have a very, very strong Republican in that seat. And a lot of people would be like, scratching their head or like, oh, why is this seat out of the sudden more conservative, liberal out of the sudden? Well, I want to clarify that real quick because there can be a chance. California 3. Yeah, this seat's not that conservative. It's 50-3. It's 3 points for Trump. Okay? And part of the reason is they have Alpine County there. And that county is a Democrats' county for some reason. They also have the county below it, like right here. So Alpine County, they also have Nevada County right here. And they have Inyo County, which is competitive there also. So what they're doing is they're taking a more of a swing county in this election. It would have probably be solid Republican. They're going to throw Kelvin Keeley out and make it a strong Democrat. How they're going to do that? They're probably going to go through Sacramento. They're probably going to do spaghetti. Imagine if they do spaghetti again. Then obviously, at least us in Texas, we know we can make our maps look good. Democrats just do spaghetti everywhere, and it's just cringe. So yes, that's what would happen. Lean Democrat in California 9. That's, I would imagine, is in Los Angeles. No, these are in the 40s. San Francisco. Oh yeah, California 9. This would be solid Democrat. That's Josh Harder's seat. They would probably move it up to include half of Sacramento or something like that. But that would be solid. Probably not aiming to win that anyway. 13th district right here, Adam Gray's seat. They're going to do some magic probably in Oakland. That's obviously, they're saying that's lean Democratic. Oh, actually, it's lean Republican. Just safe Democrat. This is in regards to Trump districts. Let's keep in mind, you got 3 Republican districts in the House right now. Sure, they'll say, oh, look at all these Trump districts, but we don't have those districts in the House of Representatives right now. So we're not losing them. You're just making them harder for us to win. And if that's what you want to do, go ahead. We're not going to be hypocrites in this. 13th district, lean Democrat for the 27th district. 27th. Yep, that includes majority of Los Angeles County. You got California 41. That is specifically, yep, that is Derek Tran's seat. And the funny thing is, we don't even have that seat. What? California 41. David. No, never mind. This is California 45. My bad. 41. Yeah, this is Ken Calvert's seat. So they would make this solid Democrat. Which then again, it's competitive. I mean, Democrats are just they're not taking safe Republican seats like they're saying. California 3. In terms of the House, I wouldn't even call it safe. 270 called it likely Republican. And besides, you do have liberal areas like there's equal representation. Alpine County. Hey. Do you want to do that? Go ahead. It's not going to suit well to your voters because we know what you're doing. District 45, District 47. That's continuously in the... Oh, I'm surprised they didn't flip Young Kim's seat or Derek Tran. Yeah, Derek Tran, they're going to make it solid. Make Orange County more liberal. District 47. Down here. They're probably going to move to include some metro areas in San Diego. And then you have District 48, which is lean Republican. Here. There you go. So, yeah, they're probably going to take this. Interesting how they're going to do that. But, yeah, this is their map they're proposing. And you'll say, oh, Republicans are done. I'm surprised they skipped Young Kim's seat. Yeah, they did not include Young Kim's seat, which is interesting. I mean, if you can ditch, like... And they didn't even include California 1. And even if they added California 1, and even if they added Young Kim's seat, it's not going to suit well for them. They could. They have room to. But I'm just saying, there's a reason why they're kind of holding back, because I think Gavin Newsom also knows that this could backfire in ways. Because I'm telling you, Texas demographics, they match, okay? Republicans overwhelmingly dominate the registration in Texas. Oh, but it was closer in Ted Cruz's race. Oh, it was closer in this election. No, that doesn't matter. No, we take a look at Texas. We can actually look, and we'll use the 2024 races, because in those races, Democrats were coming out. And despite Democrats coming out, they're not that really strong. You got the railroad commissioner, 55%. You got also the Jimmy Blacklock, 58%. That's a solid margin for Republicans there. You got also 57% in John Devine's seat for the Supreme Court. Well, I thought Texans were liberals would come out and defend reproductive rights in Texas. They can remind us all the time that people are dying in Texas. The liberals are saying that, oh, abortion's bad, fight for your reproductive rights. I'm like, 57%? John Devine, really? You wouldn't even back Vin Weems, who got 42%? I'm just saying, the Democrats have zero representation in Texas. They are overrepresented. Republicans are underrepresented in California. In fact, Gavin Newsom's going to continue to make them unrepresented. So, for those of you that are worried about us being hypocritical, we're not. We are not. We're fixing the mistakes, which aren't mistakes. They were on purpose, slanderous attacks against the GOP, manipulated attacks by Democrats. So, you know, Republicans are playing for keeps. You know what? We keep 28th district. We're going to keep the 24th district. We're flipping the 35th district. They're mad about that for sure. We're going to take out Al Green, Greasy Al Green. Take him out. They're mad about that. Al Green's a fighter! Really? Cope.
When I think about how I divide my time,
that's rude.
Carefully, I'm Alex Diaz.
Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. Okay, interesting how that goes. So you also have Juliet Johnson's seat, and MSNBC's even reporting this, and now they're going to talk about Republicans. Republicans are trying to rig the maps. Now it's saying 5 seats. I was trying to look at the MSNBC. Now it's coming from MSNBC, but my source literally came from the governor's office. Yeah, redistricting fight. Texas map could be redone to add 8 new House seats. And I did hear that they're going to target specifically your favorite brat queen, Jasmine Crocker-Rocket. And that would mean that only 1 seat wouldn't be included with Dallas County. Mark Fesley. And you can imagine that district would include all of Dallas County like this right here. That would probably be what the seats look like, which would be very interesting. So I'm just saying, we take out Jasmine Crockett. We probably will take Veronica Escobar out. We could and very well could split San Antonio. We'll wait on that, though. We could probably aim at a few other Texas districts. Make it only include Houston. And you got 214. All right? Democrats are near 203. All right? And not to mention, there are going to be an inevitable redistricting. Democrats can boo-hoo, whine, and cry they want. But we could possibly pick up these 2 districts. It's unclear if they're going to pick up the 1st district. The idea is it used to be Republican, and that's what probably could end up leading it to. And I just think we're getting so little in Ohio already. It would be very smart for Republicans to go after the 1st district also. Florida is likely going to be doing redistricting, and that obviously we would add the 9th district. The 20th district is going to be added. The Mr. Moskowitz's district would be added. Now, look, 220 seats. In fact, we are actually going to look at Missouri also. Now, Missouri, we're probably going to aim at picking, because Missouri has 3 seats, despite being 60% or somewhat Republican, double digits Republican, over 15 percentage points Republican. They have 3 seats for Democrats. They're overrepresented in that state for sure. So Republicans are probably going to say, you know what, they have 2, but still, we could just remove 1. It could be probably Kansas. It could be Emmanuel Cleaver's seat. We remove that. And they just have 1 seat there. They're going to be mad about it. Whatever. They want to play the redistricting war. We're going to play back. But expectationally, you would have clowns like, let's just say, Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul will probably come out and retaliate. So if she does do that, what would it look like? Now, honestly, you just laugh at this because there's not much that you can aim for. You can possibly aim for the 24th district, even though I'm kind of interested to see how they're going to redistrict that. It would probably be somewhat compatible. You got also the 17th district they're probably going to try to flip. And then you have the 21st district. And we'll just leave the 21st district right now. But I'm saying it could all backfire. They could also solidify Tom Suozzi and Laura Gillian's seat. So this basically pretty much eliminates the challenge that we're going to probably impose in both New York and California. But hey, you know what? It's more important that we play for keeps than actually, if Democrats want to play the game, then we're going to play the game. That's how it goes. We could actually go do the court battle in New Mexico. But, yeah, we have 219. And not to mention, yeah, this is all the seats we need. And, so what? Democrats, they managed to gerrymander another seat, which I think would be very hard. Darren LaHood, they try to get him out. And they make it somewhat compatible. We were on one seat. And you know what? I'm all for it because I want a challenge. What I don't think it's fun. I don't see the fun of these House races if we're going to win the House regardless. We're going to pick up the maximum seats regardless. To me, I just don't think it's fun. Don't know about you. But anyway, yeah, California, Democrats and Gavin Newsom, they're not going to win this redistricting war. It's quite obvious. You do the math, you pull up the math. It's, and you could say, Democrats, they can take all the blue states and redistrict. And really, Republicans are just under the line by like 2. All we need is just to pick up 2. And remember, Democrats aren't winning anything if they don't pick a net worth of 2 seats. And I know that, and they're freaking out. That's why I'm coming out and saying, you know what? Gavin Newsom doesn't care about the seats. To be honest, Gavin Newsom doesn't care about the House of Representatives. He doesn't care if Republicans redistrict or not. He's using this as leverage to get the Democratic Party nomination in 2028. Because really, you could say, and Democrats, far left Democrats could say, you did the bare minimum, you just left California one, open the open, and to me, I think that would have been easy to flip, and you add California, this part to California one, or this part here, it would have been easy to flip in general, and you just ignored that, you did the bare minimum, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because Gavin Newsom's not aiming to become... his intention is not to help Democrats win. His intention is to help Gavin Newsom win, so Gavin Newsom can win the Democratic nomination. He wants to be the savior of the Democratic Party. This is a grift. We can see it. So anyway, what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.